This is Game 2 of Bracket AC of the semifinals of the AirMech Double Kill Tournament. It will be between the... Apparently it's the Carbon team on the left, in the upper left-hand corner. This is going to be Thar. It will be Broadside in the Alpha Striker and Tangibility in the Classic Helix. They have, and pretty much the same skins on every single player, and it, you know, from every single game so far. It will be the green team in the bottom right-hand corner. WayWay and Boomhower both in the what's it called? The Apache Helix. So let's see what happens here and how they decide to open.
I'm just really interested to see the fact that both of Tangi and Broadside both went with Lexi, and WayWay and Boomhower both went with Anarchy. So I'm really curious to see just how the Lexi versus Anarchy matchup is even going to formulate as far as what kind of impact it can make in this match. You know, is it a significant advantage that one gets over the other, or is it really just still going to come down to the skill of the players themselves?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Lexi, definitely the very classic case of a mech-oriented pilot, and Anarchy, kind of the classic case of a, you know, utility, all-purpose money, you know, pilot. It does give you that money income. It does look like Broadside and Tangi are going straight for the island, and looks like Boomhower and WayWay are going straight for mid. So it would be very likely that both of these teams are going to be successful in going with, you know, the openings that they've chosen. But which one will be more powerful is, you know, is another thing. WayWay does scout it already, though. Oh, he might be able to even kill it. Dillo. Broadside not going to be able to... Oh, Tangi not able to save it. Why isn't he picking it up? Oh, man, WayWay has lost. And Broadside kind of fighting off Boomhower right here. Oh, and Tangi killing WayWay there. But WayWay did get that Dillo. And so I don't know if that's actually worth it.
Quick question, RUI. What is the time currently on your game?
It is 46 seconds.
For some reason, even though we joined at the same time, I am 13 seconds behind you.
Okay, I can easily pause it for 13 seconds, and Broadside barely getting back to his outpost, so I'm at 54. Just say go when it hits 54 for you, Steve. I like pausing.
Go.
Because, all right.
Go.
I really do like pausing because it does let you talk and analyze the game at the same time. I didn't utilize it when I should have in the early games when you weren't here, but it looks like that Tangi and Broadside have been able to grab this bottom island. Boomhower and WayWay got the mid pretty easily, and Tangi now going to start work on the bottom close. Oh, and Broadside sending a bunch of units, or a bunch of Dillos from their fort.
Poor Tangi double teamed right there. I didn't see how he was going to be able to get out of that at all.
It does look like Broadside is moving out. Oh, he's mass hold positioned them a little bit short of the mid. Will it get scouted by the green team? It does look like the green team is a little bit ahead in map control. They haven't been able to grab their bottom close outpost, and the Carbon team has not done that at all. Tangi doing a quick scout. Does see that WayWay has been able to secure that bottom outpost. Queues up some jokers. I don't know if that's associated with his scout or not, but he queues up some jokers anyway. Does look like Broadside is starting to push up on mid. Drops a Longhorn, and a couple of Dillos are moving. Will he be able to switch these to T? Oh, he just is a mass hold position. Boomhower trying to get what he can killed. I would assume that the priority might be on the neutralization here. Where is Tangi to support this fight? Tangi actually was busy dropping two jokers at the corner of that fort, and he will get a fair amount of damage. But you know, it's really quick to kill those jokers, but hasn't been responded to yet. It's very interesting.
Very interesting, because I mean, at this point, WayWay and Boomhower realize that, I mean, they're in the process of losing that mid, and if they lose mid on Thar, it really can upset them, where they're willing to take all that damage that these jokers are putting out, which is now starting to get pretty significant.
It's getting pretty significant, yeah. It's more than 10%.
We're talking 20%.
Yeah, it's getting there, and they've pretty much lost everything they have at mid. And at this point, the map control, I would say, has shifted to the Carbon team, just because the green team hasn't been able to secure mid very well. But the Carbon team has that island, has it fully socketed with moneymakers. Those 3 sockets are super powerful, and they immediately got them socketed with moneymakers, which is really great for them. Boomhower almost going to go down by Tangi. Broadside getting the final hit, and WayWay really low in health as well. Tangi will be able to high-low.
In any better shape.
Oh man, WayWay getting finished off. The Carbon team will definitely be able to get this outpost captured. Will they get it surrounded well enough so it will be actually secured? Oh man, a goalie coming out by Boomhower. I didn't really notice that they had a tech pod out, but I guess they do. Yeah, it's sitting at their right close. And right now, Tangi and Broadside still working with light units on this middle outpost. Broadside doing a quick scout of the right side, actually really low on energy. Does land, might be able to snipe this tech pod. Oh man, he will be able to get it. Oh, a tech pod goes down for that Carbon team. Now they have to build another one. 20,000 credits just completely gone for that green team. However, fortunately for them, they have been able to secure mid fairly well. A goalie is leading the charge, and you know, a decent amount of AA around. and WayWay and Broadside now fighting out here at the bottom. Tangi. Okay, I guess that fight is going to kind of shift from this from that mid fight to the bottom island. Boomhower at the carbon fort, but Broadside is here to respond. Was able to swoop up one moneymaker before Boomhower was able to get any productiveness during that harass attack. And now Tangibility actually sending out a couple of jokers. They are going for the fort, and will start to attack the fort. There's really nothing defending. There's a flamer, but it's melee, so I don't even know if it's in range at that point. The green team with mid, though, so that's really, really powerful, especially on Thar. You know, it's kind of a centralized pushing point, because, you know, I know on Wrath, it's weird pushing because they don't have that mid, so the lanes to push is just so strange. So that's why Wrath and Thar are actually quite different, even though they're the same map with just the middle outpost as the difference.
Exactly right, and then also too that lockbox that gets brought up in the middle as well, which sometimes that can make a really big difference between a game or not. But as we can see, Festive Present 2v2 was actually to regain that middle outpost, and I'd say they have it much stronger than they had it before now, and it's going to take a lot more credits and a lot more units to actually break through all the defense that they have now. And we're kind of getting the old style artillery wars that used to be famous, about a year ago or so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're still pretty popular nowadays. After the artillery got rebuffed, that's kind of when the artillery war style of play got back into the meta level of game. You know, the Sonya and the Jammer have been slightly modified to deflect. You know, before it just completely stopped it, or like it completely stopped it if the mech didn't have any map vision or something like that. But at this point, the Carbon team moving up with some artillery. No counter artillery for the green team, just a Jammer up to you know, to deflect that damage. They are combating these Archies with with grinders, and it's actually being pretty effective, pushing Broad and Tangi back just a little bit. And the grinders are going to take quite a long time to kill. They will kill quite a lot of units themselves. And I don't know if you noticed, Steve, but really quick, WayWay did drop a couple of Dillos at the top right corner to take the T99 out there. And both those Dillos, although smoking black, are still alive. So the green team, if they can get a good enough hold on this mid, they can probably expand their map control to that top right corner. You know, drop some moneymakers on those sockets or generators, whatever they need, and you know, pull further ahead in this game. You know, having this mid, it's 58 to 70 right now, so it's, although it's not, you know, a huge difference, it's enough. WayWay getting killed by Hunter Seeker right there, but I think it might have been worth it. The grinders have pushed the Carbon team back way far to the left, and you know, now the goalie's kind of dictating the positional control there, and definitely the Carbon team was not going to really be able to move up as easily.
No, not when you're trying to go up against two Gollies that are there, and now they're actually dropping one of the honeypots to heal it as well.
Yeah, even the Fixers too. Yeah, Fixers are really cost efficient when it costs. Go ahead, Steve.
I was saying, no, Tangi and Broadside actually working together. They deployed a lot of Longhorns, and they actually are able to overpower these Goliaths and the honeypot, and they are actually starting to re-push back in their direction.
And check out the bottom.
This is a great.
Broadside is actually moving these Dillos out, and no one on the green team has scouted this. Boomhower doing a quick scout, but Tangi, you know, forcing him away from the fort area. And oh man, he's pushing them. I don't know if these are on attack or on capture, because the pathing on Thar is also pretty weird. We do have WayWay expanding their map control, like I said, to the top right corner, and Boomhower doing a little bit of harass. But these Dillos were set on attack and not capture, so they are getting kind of hit by the Dillos at the middle outpost, or the tanks sitting at the middle outpost for the green team. And although they will make their way to the fort, Boomhower will easily be able to clean them up with the rockets, and they will do no damage, if any, or little damage if any. And Tangi now does scout that top right corner, has been taken by the green team. And honestly, their top outpost, the Carbon team's top outpost, is not defended that well. However, now they are starting to pump out generators. They want to get more and more units out on the field. The maximum unit cap is, you know, in green team's favor. Obviously, they have that power station under control. The max is, they have been, it has gone down to even at this point, because they have been able to neutralize that right outpost. And at this point, they're still fighting for that right outpost. Carbon team can keep it neutral. Actually, Flamer's going down, and Broadside still supporting it. Tangi going all the way back to the top, I guess, for just to check up, or just to heal up, I guess. Oh, and Broadside getting killed in the air by WayWay. And Tangi all alone out on the field. Yeah, now they pretty much have no chance on the right side.
No, with the Broadside going down and Tangi just being on his own, definitely. I mean, this map has shifted back and forth the direction like 3 times, but it's really starting to look much more in favor of Festive Present 2. The way that they have that mid secured is really solid. Their external outpost on either end is pretty solid as well. Really, the one thing that was kind of bad was that attempt by Broadside to do all those dillos, but because the pathing was a little bit off, they went right through the middle.
Yeah.
It's really that one push that could have made all the difference, unfortunately, didn't go the way that they expected, and yeah.
Yeah, and one of the big problems now is where can they go? You know, once you have the mid and you have it secure, you are the one that has all the options, and we even have generators going down on the top right corner by the green team. And again, we have another Dillo cluster at the bottom by the Carbon team. But once again, it's going to be really hard to use that because the path on Thar, there is literally no path from the bottom left area to the bottom outpost. It has to go all the way up and then all the way back down, stuff like that. Oh, but they are doing a ferry here. They have quite a lot of Dillos, but both of the green team players, Boomhower's here. WayWay is going to come back and support. The Carbon team will almost definitely be able to neutralize this, but will they have enough units here to really support? And a lot of their units will go down also to mech fire. It's 79. Oh, it's about 79, 80 to 84. Still pretty even in the unit upkeep, but the map control will dictate the difference. And the Carbon team pretty much has hit their max units at about 80, where once they get this bottom outpost back under control, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen. Tangi trying to drop what he can, does have more Gemini coming out. This will go back down to neutral. The green team now starting to. Oh, I thought they were going to move out, but that's just creeps because creeps are represented on the mini-map the exact same way as every other unit. But the green team taking this outpost back under the control. The unit cap difference is 80 to 97, so the green team can continually pump out more and more units without fear of hitting their unit cap. But the Carbon team have to actually move out to actually be productive in spending their credits, use their credits, use their units. And at this point, it does look like it's all going to be Festive Present 2's game. The only thing that the Carbon team has for them is that bottom left island.
That they do, and with the fact that it being an island and not connected to any main land, it was sort of similar to a game where with AFK where they had the middle and sand rim, which is great for dropping, but you have no actual connection to the main land, so you can't use it as a launching platform. So that really sets Broadside and Tangi that they really don't have anything except for their 2 closest ones to use as an attack platform. Nice. Which definitely really sets it in favor of Festive Present. For this particular game.
Yeah, and Festive Present is responding very, very quickly. So any weird sneak attacks that Broadside or Tangi decide to do, they're probably not going to get as far as they would versus less mini-map aware opponents. Obviously, they are both really used to playing really experienced players. And I guess they probably already are aware of how effective their random drops here and there are going to be or going not to be. And a couple of tanks getting finished off by WayWay at the top. A lot of Carbon units getting killed left and right. It's still not a huge difference in upkeep difference right now. But the green team is definitely at an advantage when it comes to map control. Oh, and Broadside now going to go all the way to the bottom of the map. Sneaking a goalie, will do a goalie drop. Let's see how effective this is actually going to be. Oh, he's stationing it down there. Oh, man. He's stationing it hidden.
Yep, no, he's just in the radar, though. If you look at the green team, if they do to that mini-map, they're just inside the radar coverage, but they are so distracted with the mid that they may not notice that little tiny orange dot anywhere on there, and Broadside may still get away with it.
Why is the fort vision range so large? That's ridiculous. Boomhower does see it now. Obviously, it was on his minimap. Now Tangi with a couple of distraction jokers going to start to try to do as much damage as he possibly can with these goalies, but there is that lunchbox. And, Boomhower bringing down a tech pod. If they can snipe the tech pod, that might be effective enough, but the green team, I think WayWay with enough drops. WayWay getting kill on Tangibility over here. But yeah, with enough drops, they have been able to neutralize that top outpost and pretty much clear the units. And Broadside's not here to micro his units around, so this will be a pretty much shut down goalie push. Just looking at that minimap vision range, it's crazy how much vision the fort has. I really, really don't think it should be that big. I don't understand the point of it being that big. Yeah, that is a little bit crazy. But Broadside and Tangibility able to kill the tech pod that's sitting next to the mid, so I guess that's a net positive for them. But another tech pod here at the fort, interestingly enough. I guess WayWay and Boomhower both made a tech pod. Either that or one of them queued up 2. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, just as in anticipation of losing their tech pod, it's just really strange, especially for high-tier teams. But just, yeah, dropping by Tangi, trying to get what he can killed with jokers. You know, if you can hit the weak spot of a tank, they do quite a lot of damage. And now going for the right outpost with a couple flamers. It's pretty much going to be wasted credits. Those flamers are really defending really well. And yeah,
we
it's
just
kind
have more and more generators coming out on the field everywhere. Everyone's just trying to get their unit cap up as high as they possibly can.
Yeah, and it's a little bit funny to see how undefended the top is. Oh, Tangi is going to go down here unless WayWay is not able to chase him down. Oh, Tangi, barely. Oh. He tried to get to some land so he could well, land, but he was not able to hit it before WayWay was able to finish him off there in the air, and Broadside forced away as well. 102 to 82. So Festive Present 2 has a pretty good lead, pretty good solid lead on this outpost, or on this fight. And at this point, you know, it's going to be more artillery war, I would think now. Because Winged Walruses have been poking and prodding like crazy this entire time, and it's gotten them kind of far. They've been able to take the green team's life down to about a little bit more than half health, but you know, you can only stretch your credits so far. And look at this this unit cluster over here. Lots of honeypots going down at the mid for Festive Present. And you know, not the same kind of unit cluster by the Carbon team. A lot of jammers going down, but they're eventually going to get whittled down, I would say. It's such an undefended outpost at the top, though, which is one thing that's just interesting to me. I think every single socket on the green team has been, or on the Carbon team, has been replaced by generators, except for the fort.
Taking a look around as you're mentioning, and that's true with that top right outpost right there. I mean, that's got to be really tempting. That if it gets scouted out, they realize how undefended it is. I mean, they could easily take it, and then they have a launching platform to a completely undefended main fortress. So, yeah, if Tangi and Broadside are not careful and they don't pay attention to the map, that could really be a turning point from them.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, though? I mean, WayWay is pretty much aware, at least WayWay, because I think he's the one that killed all the units up there. Either WayWay or Boomhower, they're in the same skin, so it's just kind of screwing with my head. But what I know that they are aware that top is pretty undefended. The big problem here is the unit cap. They have all their units kind of allocated to defending mid. Look how hard the mid is defended right now. It's borderline turtle. Actually, it's kind of turtley, but either way, they don't really have any units to spare to send up to that top. I mean, if they do, they will start to weaken their mid. They will start to weaken that upper right-hand corner. So in order to actually make a move and push out, they have to sacrifice. Sacrifice is kind of a strong word, but they have to, you know, use some of the units at any one of their stations to be able to actually do that and accomplish that. And right now, you know, tournament game, you do not want to give up his head. Oh, really? Oh, Tangi is pushing out. Oh, where is he moving, though? This is a little bit strange. Yeah, is he setting them on... I'm assuming he's setting them on attack. I don't know. Why are they going down? Such a weird move. A lot of their units are going to get lost. Oh, he set them on attack. So they're going down that ramp and all the way around. This is just pretty much throwing all their units away. I'm not really sure what they thought, what Tangi thought he could get accomplished with this. But I think they kind of decided they needed to make a move sometime soon, as Broadside is at his credit cap and has been for a little while, actually. So now Broadside can start pumping out more units now that they have the unit cap to spare.
That they can, because Broadside's been trying to defend the bottom factory, because there is a small artillery line set up to try to take that bottom island from them. And from what I've been seeing, Broadside's been trying to defend it, but without the extra unit capabilities, yeah, there's nothing extra that he can do other than just try to shuffle and heal. But
yeah, we do have a goalie drop by WayWay at the fort. It is making its way. Oh, and it kind of teleported because these maps are a little bit buggy, but it is starting to attack the corner. But Broadside and Tangibility are both there to react, and I really don't think it'll get past the lunchbox shield. If it does, it won't get that far. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the green team is really aware that the weak points of this Carbon team is the you know, the top outpost, and the bottom left factory is not that well defended either. I think it's just going to be a slow decline of units on the Carbon side until Festive Present 2 is able to actually make you know, to take complete map control and get this and win this round, sending us to a game 3.
And I'm taking a look at everything. I mean, there's so many high units as far as the actual unit count goes, and looking around, it sure looks like that a lot of those units are being, the capacity is being devoted to all these Bertha cannons that are out there. Because, I mean, taking a look around, it really doesn't look like that there's almost like 200 units out on this battlefield.
Yeah, a lot of it is. I mean, certain units take up more than one unit cap. Like I know the goalie and Bertha take up. I think it's 3 and 4. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, yeah, you're definitely not going to see the number of units in the unit cap out on the field. It's going to be the they have specific upkeep values, but the Berthas are very, very important for both teams because they do keep the other team at bay. Boomhower able to successfully kill one generator. Oh, but does get killed by Tangi and Broadside in his retreat. But it does allow WayWay a little bit of distraction time to be able to start making his move out on this bottom island. A lot of Gemini down here, and it does look like the green team is eventually going to be able to take over this bottom left corner. A couple of random creeps at the left outpost, but Tangi now with a couple of flamers on the right outpost, able to snipe a tech pod, and it was kind of protected by a jammer. I don't know if jammers actually block the tech pod from enemy mech vision. I'm assuming because these teams are doing it that yes, it does. But Tangi was able to spot it anyway during his harass. Oh, and WayWay getting killed in the air by Tangi, but the Berthas definitely have to be pulled back. So the Carbon team winning this bottom fight so far, but Tangi really low on health, not going to be finished off though. And actually Broadside still trying to focus Boomhower down over his outpost. The more damage you do to a mech over his outpost, the less energy for heal and for recharge that they do get. And now WayWay bringing Gemini all the way from his fort, which is a little bit interesting, but I think he wanted to queue up even more, so that's probably a really great reason to do so. They are making quite a massive tank cluster over here, and the Carbon team is forced to pull back a little bit. They might be able to. Okay, yeah, they probably have to pull all the way back to the island. They don't really have too many healing units over here. It's all tanks, and it's kind of the same story for the green team. Oh, and they have set the.
Broadside with the great chase down there. Did you see the?
I did not. I was looking at these units being moved out, and the green units are being. Oh, I think that was an accidental command because they were accidentally set on. I'm assuming attack. Because if they were set on capture, they'd be going kind of upwards, going for the other left outpost. But I don't think Broadside and Tangibility see it. Okay, now we do have Broadside scouting it, so he will start to make a defense at the fort, but it will force an allocation of units at the Carbon fort instead of at the outpost fights. And we do have WayWay scouting the top. Oh, no, scouting, dropping creeps, so he might be able to get this neutralized. No, probably not. But either way, creeps are free. Got to use them as much as you possibly can. Gotta love bot spawners. But either way, but anyway, Boomhower now setting up a Bertha and a goalie, and another goalie to defend. So this is actually a pretty strong unit cluster there. Broadside definitely with enough tanks to defend this, but once again, it's going to force them to allocate their tanks over here. And on this map, it's going to be really hard to actually tell them to move out all at once to be able to, get them to where you need them to be. And now the green team starting to put pressure on this top outpost as well with a Bertha firing down. They've got it neutralized just now. And the bottom fight is kind of being abandoned by both teams. Both teams are kind of being pulled back. And Boomhower trying to get focused over by Tangi and Broadside. Okay, Boomhower trying to keep himself alive, trying to use that recharge, but it has allowed WayWay to push a lot of tanks up to the top outpost. And now the next step is, obviously the next step is the next outpost, the left outpost. Tangi dropping a couple distraction jokers, but I doubt it's really going to be that much. Well, actually, it's doing a pretty good job keeping Gemini fire away from everything else. And WayWay actually really low on health. Broadside not able to chase him down. And Broadside. Will he be able to get this kill on WayWay? He's pinned down, and Broadside actually really is out of energy, and gets finally that kill. Does a fake transform, hits that ledge, and does a ledge dive. Oh, Boomhower with kind of a hidden Bertha at the bottom, and it's not within the vision range of the Carbon team. So this will eventually whittle away at the factory. At that bottom left-hand corner, at those units. So now the green team is pretty good surround on this on this top outpost. I'm sorry. And now the Carbon team will definitely lose this. All they have left is the entire left side of the map, but it's very, very thin at this point. 61 to 117. It's a very, very large upkeep difference. It's about 2 to 1. It's almost 2 to 1. And so much map control also gives you so much income advantage. And now we do have the green team moving out all their goalies from the mid. Are they going in for the kill? Oh, and the Carbon team is also moving out as well. What's going to happen? Steve, what's going to happen? Steve, what's going to happen? I don't know what's happening. It's a double push. And Tangi does set his on hold position. Oh, and he's going to bring them back in defense. You know, these tanks are going to be able to take the top outpost back, but the green team has been able to send enough units to take that left outpost, and so now at this point, all the carbon team has is that bottom left island, which eventually is going to get neutralized by the Bertha that's stationed down there by Boomhower, which is great positioning, and now Boomhower and WayWay are slowly going to make their way and get complete map control. The goalies are moving for the fort. This will probably not be the killing blow, but it will be damaging enough to pretty much kill everything that the carbon team has over there at the fort. Oh, actually, this might be the killing blow. With enough micro, WayWay and Boomhower can get a great surround. WayWay getting killed in the air, but doesn't really matter. A lot of damage will go down on this carbon fort, and now Boomhower. Okay, yeah, the bottom outpost has been neutralized. Oh, did they actually scout that? Because there is a tank down there. Either way, that the bottom left corner has been neutralized. The factory is dead. The carbon team has lost it. The green team will be able to take it under control, and they are now counter pushing out. They are going to try to take the mid, but Boomhower already moving out some goalies. So man, this is such a weird game, really, Steve.
It is. I mean, you can definitely see that Tangi and Broadside, they're trying to find any openings, any opportunities that they can to push through. They know that they're getting close to a dominating phase, and that's not a position that they want to be in, especially against a team like WayWay and Boomhower.
And they have been able to take back their left outpost. A little bit surprising.
That they have, and they did it in a very unique way where most people always wait for the attack to be destroyed before they pushed out. As you saw, they actually started pushing out their defending units while the attack was still going on and let them basically destroy it as they were passing by. Yeah. But we do have a second small golly push that's coming in now. Not going to be base killing, but definitely little extra damage here and there can add up.
There is only Dillos defending, so Broadside really needs to get his game on, start landing and slashing, using his AoE to his advantage. Oh, he uses those level... What the hell level does he have? He has already level 3 striker missiles, and so that actually did quite a lot of burst damage. Those are crazy OP, I would say. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. And still maintaining control of this left outpost. It's literally the last outpost they have under their control. I do admire them for still fighting hard, not really giving up. And at this point, Tangibility.
Well, I mean, when you're all the way determining whether or not you're going to be in the final match or the third place match, and you're talking about $100 diamond bundle and the tournament cup on the line, you are not going to give up at all, even if it doesn't look good. I mean, you're still going to do whatever you can to somehow pull it out. Because I mean, you want the cup, you want those diamond bundles, and you just want the you know, that respect
glory
that goes with it.
Yeah,
the
man.
Glory. There we go. That is the word I'm looking for. The glory that goes along with the fact of saying this extreme tournament, and I want it.
I actually like your word better, that respect, because, and not necessarily respect, but recognition that you are that OP, that skilled of a player, that you won this giant, actually this tournament, I would say, is really, really stacked. Yeah, they were able to, yeah, whoever gets this will be able to get that, like all that stuff, not only the prize, but the, just simply the fact that they won. The Carbon team actually has been able to take this top outpost back. Wow. And they will. I don't know if they'll be able to hold it for very long. WayWay and Boomhower now sending out another goalie line with a couple Seekers in support to that fort. And so at this point, Broadside and Tangi, I don't know if they're really aware of this at this point. There is enough defense over there to actually keep them pretty safe. They won't really go down to this amount of goalies, especially I didn't really realize how strong that burst damage of the striker missiles was, but Broadside will be able to do quite a lot of damage to these goalies as they are coming in. But once again, has their left close outpost neutralized. There's only one goalie, so Tangi's probably going to be able to handle this, but Broadside, wow, that burst damage of that goalie, or from those rockets, was able to do quite a lot of damage, and now there's only two goalies over here, but it's just a slow chipping away and a slow push by WayWay and Boomhower, and they will methodically, I can almost guarantee that they will methodically be able to get this win. Because of their advantage, they will not let it go. They will not give up their advantage.
I mean, I'm thinking almost at this point, I mean, you're talking it's almost a 4-to-1 unit count ratio. I mean, I'm actually wondering, like, if WayWay and Boomhower just kind of synchronized all the tanks and units that they had on the field and they pushed in with everything all at once. I mean, do you even think that Tangi and Broadside could even handle such a significant push?
They would have to definitely coordinate that push, send starting from the furthest point, and as units are passing by, send the next wave and the next wave so they can all come in a nice bundle and cluster. We do have Broadside with a couple of Dillos dropped. It's going to do a little bit of damage. It has gotten through the lunchbox shield, but it's already been responded to with a goalie in defense, so it's not too much of a worry for that green team. And Broadside getting killed in the air by WayWay. And lots of kills in this game.
More significant from that broadside drop was that not so much that he got the Dillos down there or broke through the shield, but he very quietly destroyed the lunchbox, and it's clear actually that Boomhower and WayWay did not realize it because they replaced that missing lunchbox with the generator. So now that fortress is completely unshielded, so any drops that come in until they realize it and re-get it shielded is really could be a very significant real significant damage that can occur now and could potentially, just from ninja drops, be the game-winning thing.
That is a very good point, Steve. And, Broadside and Tangi could actually be aware of that because they will not see an overshield on the enemy fort. As opposed to, if there is an overshield, they have a lunchbox. But if they notice, oh, there's no shield, there's no light green bar on the enemy fort, that will signal to them that they can just drop and do a lot of damage to actually be able to get a finish. Tangi and Broadside now moving out from their fort. They finally have lost their very last outpost. It's very, very well surrounded by the green team. And look at that wall of honeypots at that middle outpost. That's stopped their push. Oh man, that's wow, quite a wall. They can't get past it. Those honeypots are still alive. Wow, that's probably the one of the shuttiest, downiest, that's not a word, but I'm gonna say it anyway, the shuttiest, downiest pushes I've ever seen because of that wall and those goalies in the front, and they were not able to get past. I think they prioritized on attacking the goalies over the honeypots. Tangi getting killed in the air by Boomhower, but we do have Broadside with a secret level 4 creep push. Not push, sorry, drop on the right side. Is it going to be worrying at all for the green team? I don't think so, because it looks like they are going in for the kill right now. There is pretty much nothing defending for the Carbon team, and it looks like that they will they're about to get this win.
That it does look like, and I don't see much ways of Tangi and Broadside being able to pull this one out there. Virtually in a dominating position. I mean, about the only thing I think that Broadside's trying to go for is he's trying to get that close outpost, and I'm sure he wanted to pull out a few quick units and try to do a drop and hope that since there was no shield, he could do enough damage quick enough before it was too late. But beyond that, this is just, it's just, you see green everywhere.
Yeah, the entire map is covered in green, and I think this will probably be the killing blow. Killing Swarm will deal the killing blow. And at this point, there are more and more tanks heading for the Carbon fort. This is going to be GG. Fort health going down pretty quick for that Carbon team. And there... And boom, that is it.
There we go.
Yeah, Tangibility, if you look in chat, quite a lot of DAWs. But the green team, Festive Present 2, version 2, getting this win, getting the second game and evening the score in the semifinals over Team Winged Walruses. WayWay and Boomhower, getting a victory over Tangibility and Broadside. So let's see what happens in the next round, the final game, the set deciding game of the semifinals.
7, 6.